Heyo, Jacob here, flying solo for PC Game Zen, and today I'll be running through how to update your BIOS, an important task that often falls by the wayside. The BIOS, or Basic Input-Output System, is the crucial low-level interconnect between your motherboard, the componentry plugged into it, and your OS. It's important if you have any issues or your hardware isn't working as intended to make sure your BIOS firmware is up to date. The performance, stability, and memory support of your system may depend on it. But if your system is all fine, then most manufacturers recommend you leave well enough alone. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Anyways, without further ado, let's get to it. First things first, you need to know exactly what motherboard and BIOS version you're running on already. That's easy enough to find out with a quick trip to System Information. From your desktop, hit the Windows key, type MS Info into the search bar, and press Enter. Hey presto, all the important details about your rig. The value under baseboard product is your motherboard model. You'll need this along with the manufacturer name in the cell above to find the appropriate BIOS for your machine. Also make a note of the value under BIOS version/date. That's the exact BIOS version your PC is currently running. If you purchased your motherboard recently, this may well be the most recent firmware version to date. The machine we're running today features the Asus Tech H110M-A/M.2, running on BIOS version 3408. As you can see, that BIOS was released in 2017. Oops. Bring up your web browser and search engine of choice and type in the name of your motherboard from just before. Find the official product page and navigate to the support or download section. From here, navigate to the BIOS/firmware downloads page. This varies in layout from manufacturer to manufacturer, but will almost always be easy enough to locate. Make sure to download the latest BIOS version available. In our case, that's 3807, released mid-2018, and claiming to improve system stability and performance. Perfect. Download the file, extract it, and copy it onto a USB device. If you don't have a drive to hand, many motherboards allow users to download the BIOS firmware straight from the web from within the BIOS interface itself. We prefer to play it safe with a trusty USB stick, however. Before we proceed, here's a word of warning. Updating your BIOS is, more often than not, a rather mundane and drama-free affair. However, if you cut the power to your PC during the update process, you'll end up with a flashy bit of totally dead plastic junk. Also, note down any overclock settings now, as you'll have to reapply them later once the update is complete. Now that I've struck the fear of God into you, it's time to boot into the BIOS. I'll run through the process with a few of the most popular motherboard manufacturers, Asus, MSI, and Gigabyte. I reside very much in the mash delete key as much as possible during startup to boot into BIOS camp. It's not pretty, but it works. Your BIOS screen may look a little different, especially if you're running on an ROG board. Nevertheless, the steps for most Asus boards are largely the same regardless. Press F7 to open Advanced Mode. From here, navigate to Tools. Open the Asus Easy Flash 3 utility. Select your USB stick with the extracted BIOS file on it from the storage device list. Select the BIOS file and confirm that you wish to read this file. Confirm that you wish to update BIOS. Allow the update process to complete, and no matter what, don't turn off your PC until you are 100% sure the update process has completed. Reapply your settings, and you're good to go. Same deal, different menus. Boot to BIOS by mashing the delete key incessantly, or just once at the right time. Either way, you're in. Navigate to M-Flash and agree to auto-reboot the system in flash mode. Our BIOS is set in advanced mode, reached by pressing F7, but M-Flash is obvious enough from the simple BIOS interface too. Select the USB drive within the BIOS file you extracted onto the drive earlier. Select the BIOS file. Accept the prompt and let the PC do its thing. Do not turn your PC off. Reapply BIOS settings and you're golden. You may notice our MSI MPG Z390 Gaming Edge AC was up to date with the latest firmware release already. If that's the case with you, then leave your system be and get gaming already. This Gigabyte Aorus AX370 Gaming 5 is something a little different. Not only is it an AMD Ryzen board, but it also features dual BIOS. A physical switch on the board allows us to have some redundancy in case of a major power outage killing the update process prematurely. It was especially important with AMD Ryzen, especially in its early years, to keep the BIOS updated. The latest firmware drastically expanded memory support back in the day, and even now if you want to update to the latest 3rd gen Ryzen processors, you'll need to update your BIOS ahead of time for compatibility. But despite those differences, the process is pretty much the same, straightforward few steps as the Intel Asus or MSI boards. First, boot into BIOS by mashing the delete key to Kingdom Come, just to be on the safe side. You can also jump straight to QFlash, Gigabyte's BIOS flash utility, by pressing the End key during startup. Once you've navigated to QFlash, select the extracted BIOS from your storage drive. Press Enter and agree to update your BIOS. Start the process and let your Mobo do the hard work. Reapply your settings and voila, you're done. That's it. Updating your BIOS is a pretty painless experience for the most part, especially since UEFI arrived on the scene. I hope you found this guide on how to update your BIOS useful. If so, give us a like and subscribe, and check back on the channel for more from me and my usual compadre Dave. Also check out PCGamesN.com for the latest and greatest in PC hardware and gaming. It's good, promise. Until next time, later.